Thanks to those joining me live and those that be joining me on the archive, the style here. Hope everyone is doing their thing. Man, oh man, do we got a show for you. All right. Look, I'm going to be reacting and commentating, obviously. I'm going to be giving my thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts. A lot of these are not new thoughts that I have on Mauricio Sulaiman himself. This was an interview by Mannix, and let me turn the camera on. What am I doing? But let's first of all, let's share the screen now, and we'll kind of go from there. All right. Here's Mannix. All right. He did this interview with Mauricio Sulaiman. And look, this is from the Boxing with Mannix and Mora show. He got this interview with Mauricio Sulaiman, and I got to tell you, I enjoyed this interview. I honestly did, and we'll talk why and all that. But let's go ahead and we'll get it started. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but we're going to play good portions of it. And we're going to talk about it. That's what we're going to do. All right? So, let's talk about it. All right? And let me first, before anything, share this on my social medias and all that. So give me a second before we start playing any of this, right? Just give me a second, guys. Man, there's things about StreamYard that I fucking hate. Right? There are things about StreamYard that I just can't stand. If you are here right now, make sure you hit the like button before anything, before you forget. Hit the like button. Very important. All right? And what's going on here? Like what's I gotta verify my number when I tweet something out. Like, well, what is this? Right? I don't even know what that's about, but that's whatever. Let me share this post. Now we're gonna start playing and just go from there. So let's get the show on the road. We'll play it at a faster speed. So this sounds a little off. It is what it is. We're just playing it at a little bit of a faster speed here, so we get through it a little faster. That's all. All right.
Being here to answer some of these questions.
Absolutely, Chris. Thank you for the opportunity for me, on behalf of the WBC, to provide our side of any topic that we will be discussing.
Okay, so let's jump right in with the most recent news. Shakur Stevenson is no longer the WBC's 135-pound champion. Why is Shakur Stevenson no longer the champion?
Thank you. Let me give you the full story. We received a call.
By the way, there are these very, very annoying things that Mauricio Sulaiman does, right? He does these very annoying things. And I swear to God, I just can't stand them, right? And you'll know what I mean a little bit, right? And Chris Mannix has more patience than me. I'll just put it that way.
From his management, in which they requested the WBC to have Shakur Stevenson fight on a different weight category while maintaining the lightweight championship, and being this a WBC event, which even they asked for a special belt for the fight. We explained clearly that that is within the WBC rules, and that I would be very happy to convey that to the board and make it happen, because Shakur has been associated with WBC since 2019. I told his management they needed to send a written request in order to start all the process. From that point on, we had another couple of conversations. They were supposed to send a written request, which didn't happen.
Look, You know what's crazy about this year? Like, you want to know what's like just nuts? That more and more people are finding out how full of shit all of these sanctioning bodies are, right? You know, there's people that have been watching boxing their whole life. They knew about, the history of they could talk about the history of boxing and all that. They could talk a lot about the sport, but they didn't even know like all the bullshit sanctioning fees that they went on for years. Now I've known for years, right? Like for years I've been telling people, when they do these special belts and all that, they're charging sanctioning fees. Like these guys literally believe that they are the reason the event is big. They're the reasons that the event sells. They think they're the reasons that the fighters are making money. Now I'm not saying that sanctioning bodies don't play a part, but they literally believe that they make the fighter. And I'm sorry to tell you, they don't make the fighter. The fighter makes them. He literally he's just saying like it's normal. Yeah. If you want to move up in weight, then hey, you got to pay the price. If you move up in weight, you need to ask permission. Do you understand me? If you want to move up in weight as a champion, you need to ask us permission. We're the WBC. We're special. We need to sanction the event. We need to be part of the event. We are the event. We are you, and we deserve a piece of that pie. You will ask permission to move up in weight and fight for another belt, or we're going to strip you. This is what they're doing. This is asinine. This is crazy. It's in our rules. Yeah, I get it. There's a lot of things in your rules, and Mannix points it out, that you don't follow all the time. Listen a little more.
However, I went to the convention early December. I expressed the position, the petition, the verbal petition.
This is what he does. The thing I'm talking about, this is it. Okay? Like, this is what I fucking hate. I despise it. And to be honest with you, Mannix kind of let him off the hook with this one. With these little things that he does. Watch.
And it was voted in favor. However, we needed to have everything in writing, as every promoter does, and every situation has to be taken care for. Then came December, stopped absolute communications. On January, I started again the communication requesting the petition, the sanctioning petition. And then I even involved the promoter, Matchroom.
I want you guys to understand that this was not a WBC sanctioned fight. He's over here harassing Shakur Stevenson and his management, right? Now, there's two sides to every story. It's Mauricio's side of the story, right? But from his own, he's telling the story. This is a story of a dude called Mauricio, and he couldn't stop harassing this guy. He just wanted to move up a weight class to fight for a belt that isn't his. But he wants a sanctioning fee to be charged because he thinks he runs the whole show. He believes Shakur Stevenson was making money because of the WBC, but he wasn't. He had nothing to do with this event. Nothing. Oh, you as a fighter need to ask permission to move up in weight or to have any type of another fight that is not for the WBC belt. What in the fuck is this? And I guarantee you, 90% of boxing fans or more don't even know that's a thing. I could almost bet you anything. This is nonsense, bro. That's crazy.
And I copied also Sela, who is closely associated with the promotions. And no response whatsoever. There were some emails that they responded, Our legal team continued the communications, and they never responded whatsoever to any
The event still happened without you, Mauricio. He still got paid what he got paid without you, Mauricio. The WBC was not a part of it, Mauricio, and it was what it was. They sold out the Garden without you, Mauricio. You were not needed, Mauricio. Who the fuck are you to be demanding more fucking money? Who the fuck are you? Well, you don't make shit. We contacted Sella. Like you're attaching dudes on emails. You keep emailing them. Like, hey, I want a part of this. I want a part of that. It gets worse for Mauricio Sulaiman.
petition of putting it in writing and receiving the final authorization.
Okay, so let me just ask.
They do not need your authority, Mauricio.
Yes, let me interrupt quickly. Why does Shakur Stevenson need the WBC's permission to fight in a different weight class for a different sanctioned body's title?
Because he requested that permission. If you want to keep your title, there are specific rules, and these rules have been in place for decades. When you are a champion in the WBC or any other organization, you have benefits from being a champion. When you are to engage in a non-title bout or in a title bout on another weight category, up or down, you need to receive the permission from the organization to do so. And that's what it's, and it's, we have been consistent. It has.
You see, I'm not exaggerating what I'm saying. This is greed, bro. Right? He wants to put his filthy fucking hand. He's like the dude from, what's the name of the dude? From Home Alone? That, like, you know, he wants to be a bandit, bro. Dude's over here trying to be a fucking Mexican wet bandit. Like, they're trying to put his filthy fingers in shit that has nothing to do with him. Nothing. He wanted to move up. It's in our rules. You need to petition. And he tries to make it all sound like official. That's like, you know what? Fuck this shit. We don't need this shit. Fighters don't need this shit. And more fighters are waking up to this bullshit. The media's catching up. Now more fans know that you charge sanctioning fees for this shit. You charge sanctioning fees for fights that you don't sanction? That you're not needed in? Mr. Sticky Fingers? Thank you, Santel. Like, this is some horse shit. I'm sorry. Greedy, sloppy motherfucker, bro.
It's happened so many times with many fighters. There's precedent. In fact, Benavides is fighting in May as WBC light heavyweight champion, and he's fighting in cruiserweight for another organization. He made the petition in written, and it's the exact same case that is the way it's done by the WBC rules.
So
So you need to pay to move up. This is insane. And you know what's crazy about this? Most fans didn't even know this was a thing. Most people didn't know this was a thing for years. Those people that didn't even know, like challengers, or they thought only the winner pays sanctioning fees, or like people don't understand. And there's more shit I want to say about Mauricio, by the way. He's never going to come on and let me ask him questions. So I have questions for the media to ask him, right? But we'll get on that later. All right, we'll get on that later. Let's keep it moving.
You stripped Shakur not because he holds.
We did not strip Shakur.
Well, you vacated the title. It's kind of the same.
I mean, what are you doing, bro? We're playing semantics. You stripped them. Like, what are we doing? I don't even know why is Mannix even playing the semantics, bro? We did not strip him. Like, shut the fuck up. But in our rules, it states that it's not the strip. I don't give a fuck what it states in your rules. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck about your board of governors, right? I don't give a fuck about your board of directors and your board of honorary whatever, championship governors or the championship committees. I don't give a fuck about any of that dumb window dressing, fake facade bullshit. This is all you, Mauricio. All of it. It's all you. It's you. And you know it's you.
The management elected not to comply, and they eventually vacated the title because they did not comply And we have so many written proof of everything. We published after the convention on December the 3rd, the status of each weight category. I published personally on January 26th, the status of each weight category. And it clearly says the WBC allowed this situation. However, we have not received any response from Shakur Stevenson, and the board is going to address this matter.
Why do they need to allow anything? Is Shakur Stevenson due a mandatory defense? Did he not just defend his belt? Why does he need to ask you for permission? If you have a mandatory, can't meet the mandatory, that's a different story. This is horse shit. Like, there's no way around it, bro. Mauricio Sulaiman is framing it in a certain way. He knows what he's doing, but he knows he's full of shit. Right? I'm just saying.
And all this is published publicly, Chris. And I'll be very happy. I don't know if you received the WBC notifications. I'll be happy to add your email so you can receive it.
We don't need to receive shit, bro. I can get ChatGPT right now to write me, put in writing a ChatGPT, tell me what write something down that Shakur Stevenson had to ask permission for the WBC, blah, 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 and it'll give me a nice little written shit. Who gives a fuck about any of that? All I know, right, is that there's a fight you had nothing to do with, right? And you weren't standing like on principle, like, hey, we strip guy. If you move up, we got to strip you because the division moves on. No, you were totally willing to let him remain champion if he paid you a fee, motherfucker. That's what this is about. Yes, you wrote it in your stupid rules, but you wrote the rules. He talks about the rules the way like lawyers talk about the law, or like the way judges enforce law, or police officers enforce the law, or like that's our politicians even when they talk about law. Like he's talking about these rules like these are like rules that some third party with all everyone that looking out for everybody, right? Like there's some real like checks and balances going on, and some entity created these rules for the greater good of boxing. No, you wrote these rules, Mauricio. You and your stupid ass board of governors wrote these rules. They're on your website. You wrote them. All right? What are we doing here? You made up all this shit. So when they say things like, hey, it's in the rules, in every rule, it says discretion of WBC. You can literally just bypass it and just let him fight Teofimo and not be a greedy motherfucker and try to get his money. You could easily just do that like you do it with a bunch of other things. I'm not going to finish this today, by the way. I'm probably going to have to do 2-3 episodes on this shit, but let's keep it moving. All right?
It directly. But all this is public. We have never said no to an interview. We have never said no to it.
Yes, you have, motherfucker. Come join my show. Come on my show, Mauricio. I have some questions for you. By the way, I don't remember off the top of my head. Can somebody remind me, somebody in the chat, somebody remind me, how much did Mauricio Sulaiman want to charge Terrence Crawford? Do you guys remember the amount? You remember the amount he wanted to charge? I don't remember that off the top of my head. And do you remember the amount that he claimed was going to go to the Jose Sulaiman Fund? If you can get that for me, though, those numbers are very important. 300K, Mr. T. And how much did he claim was going to go to the Jose Sulaiman Fund? When he was trying to shame Crawford, it's not about the money, it's about the fighters. Let's go to the Jose Sulaiman Fund. And we did everything we could to lower the fee and all this other dumb shit he's saying. 200K was going to go, 2/4 of it, right? 2/3, I'm sorry. 2/3 was going to go to the Jose Sulaiman Fund. Now, I want everybody here, right? Look, you don't need hire, I swear to God. than like a 5th grade education to get what I'm about to tell you. Like, you just don't need it. Right? And I hope, Mannix Sulaiman, I hope your ass is fucking hate watching out there somewhere. Right? And I hope that people interviewing him in the future take this and ask him this. Okay? Mannix Sulaiman, you claim of the $300,000 that you wanted to charge Terence Crawford of a sanctioning fee. You stated that $200,000 of that, 2/3 of it was going to go to the Jose Sulaiman Fund. Do 2/3 of all sanctioning fees go to the Jose Sulaiman Fund? Is that a standard practice? Now, he may do this shit, before he answers the question, and he may follow up by saying, that is absolutely ridiculous. He may say some dumb shit like that, but I want you to listen carefully. Is he going to answer the question? Was it just unique to Crawford? Or does he take he puts less of a percentage of the Jose Sulaiman Fund, but for Crawford it was higher than that, right? But if you supposedly take, to make yourself look like this is not about the WBC taking money, this is about helping fighters in need. If you take 2/3 of the sanctioning fee money like you claim you're going to take from Crawford, where's all the money, Mauricio? Out of your own mouth, $2.5 million in the lifetime of the Jose Sulaiman Fund has been donated to help fighters in need. Those are your words. You already went on record and said that. That fund has been around since 2012. If you're putting 2/3 of all sanctioning fee money towards the Jose Sulaiman Fund, where's all the money going? And I don't want to hear about WBC cares. People could look that up. The math ain't mathing, brother. I'm telling you right now. And I hope you're watching. I know you're watching. Like, you're hoping this isn't like Get Out more, right? You're hoping, right, that more media members are going to run with this. Get your answer ready, motherfucker, because you have a lot of explaining to do. Right? This little slush fund I believe you have going on, allegedly, right? Shit could get exposed really quick if you don't watch out, brother. I'm just going to put that out there, right? And you got nothing on me, nothing, because all this shit, you said everything's public, right? Transparency, 100%. Well, Mannix Sulaiman, I'm looking right at you, right? I know what you got going on, dude. People are catching on already. And either you were lying about the Terence Crawford money, right? Or you're lying right now. But either way, you're lying. The shit ain't adding up. We're looking at the very public tax forms, and which I've shown people, and you have 2.1 million in other, right? On what you're supposed to be itemizing in expenditures, while the IBF has 16,000 on others. So I don't know. Sounds very slush fundy to me. It has a very slush fund. It sounds very slushy. It sounds very exclusive, brand to 7-Eleven-ish to me. That's what it sounds like. And you're lucky, because if Mannix doesn't know this, I doubt he does, but if he does, he probably just didn't want to piss you off so you run away from the interview, right? And don't get me wrong, I thought Mannix did a great job, by the way. But I'm just saying, this right here if supposedly 2/3 of all the money goes to Jose Sulaiman fund, there's a shitload of money sitting around somewhere, or that's already been spent, is what I'm going to say. All right? That's it. Let's keep it going.
Any question. Everything is public. And it is very troubling and sensitive the way this
Yeah, it is very troubling. You're right about it. Sometimes he tells the truth, by the way. He doesn't mean to, but you know.
situation has been handled.
Do you think
having the rules.
Shakur Stevenson?
Bro, this guy's acting like, I mean, this is just totally, I mean, I can't believe the way he handled it. He just didn't want to give me 130,000. 120,000. He just didn't want to give me money to move up and wait to fight for another bout. It's very unfortunate that he acted this way. This is a dude that's an advocate for the Ali Act? Is this what the Ali Act is supposed to protect? It's supposed to take money out of fighters' pockets? Well, you're not even sanctioning the fight? What are we doing? This is extortion, brother. That's what it is. It's legalized bribery. Hey, here's a bribe, 130,000. If you pay me, hey, you get to keep your belt. If you don't, then hey, tough luck. 1.5% based off of what we believe you made. It's our money. Right. You greedy motherfucker.
Stevenson told me that you asked for $120,000 in order for you to sanction that fight. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. In writing, we send a letter insisting on them to which.
You notice how he says, like, here's, oh my God, I can't stand this dude, right? He says things and tries to make them sound like they're official, like, oh yeah, in writing. You know, he uses words like petition, in writing, right? In the rules and the bylaws, and he uses words like that when it comes down to it, it's the rules. The dude at the far end, they're just made up. They made up these rules. Right? That's what it is. I mean, what are we doing?
Tried everything to avoid this situation. What we send is the WBC.
I have a better idea about how to avoid the situation. Right? By the way, I get to the comments in a little bit, guys. I appreciate you guys being here. The better way to avoid the situation is, I don't know, maybe don't get involved in something that doesn't involve you. Maybe that. You are not in this dude sounds entitled. That's what he is. He sounds entitled, bro. What the fuck are we doing? The WBC is going to end up getting audited. I can't wait. I can't wait either, bro. Do it. Audit the WBC. Audit them. Like, period. Mauricio gets one pass from me. Come to my channel and do an interview with me. And you have to stay on for 30 minutes. And I'll tell people not to audit you anymore. How about that? What are we doing? I cannot wait either, by the way. Appreciate the super chat. I want to get to comments, guys, but I have a lot of video to go to, so.
Approves your petition to fight.
Forgive me, guys.
And according to the WBC rules, are
you guys catching on to what I'm saying? Like, you see how he does that? He does the whole, like, oh, according to the rules. Like, he's making it sound like he didn't write the rules. Right? Bro, like, they're your rules. Like, you wrote them. What do you mean? Like, he's talking about the rules like they're this, like, third-party entity that he's just following. Right? Like, let's say me and Mannix was best, got in some type of legal battle, right? And I'm here and I'm going to make an argument. Hey, well, you did something illegal. the law is this, the law is that, right? Fine, right? But it's a little different. Like if it's a law I made up, like I wrote the rules, and then I'm talking about it like it's some thing that I had nothing to do with. I'm just following the rules, right? I mean, this is what the guy's doing.
Fee of 120,000, which is less than the 3% that should be, which they, by the way, they can contest and say, no, we're not making this amount, we are making this, and we have done it many times. We have adjusted the.
Look, you see how, you know what Mannix Sulaiman reminds me of, right? Mannix Sulaiman, right? It would be that mechanic that like, or some dude at a tire shop. Like, let's say your tire was like, I don't know, wiggly or something, right? So you stop at a tire shop. And it turns out all it was is that the screws were just loose, right? So they do the whole like, and they, you know, and you're good to go. Hey man, this is all it was, you know, $5, $10, whatever it is. And you know, if you feel like it, you give them a little bit of a tip, you keep it moving, right? No, Mannix Sulaiman would be the dude that would lie to you, right? Mannix Sulaiman would tell you, you need a whole new car, bro. Mannix Sulaiman would then pull out some rules that he made up in his own shop, saying, well, hey, I'm just following the rules. The rules when you bring the car to my shop is that the car's going to stay here until you buy another car, right? And if and I heard you make, you know, 60,000 a year, so I believe you can buy this car right here, right? It has brand new tires on it, and but if you don't make 60,000 a year, I mean, I am totally open to you just telling me what you make. If you make less, I will work with you. Like, this is what it sounds like. You will take out the bolt by himself. Like, he's making it sound like he's a reasonable one. Like, no. And if he didn't make that much, I'm just going by the reports. Yeah, I'm trying to get 120,000 from the dude in a fight we have nothing to do with, by the way, right? We're not the ones sanctioning the fight. But in our rules, it says that that in situations like this, in our rules, it says it's a WBC special event. Well, man, who the fuck wrote those rules? You did. What do you mean? What the fuck is this? I'm going to show up to Santeo's house with a piece of paper with my rules that say I own the house now, right? Santeo's going to be like, what do you mean you own the fucking house? What? What are you talking about? You never come visit me. When you come this town, I know you want to take my house? Santeo, you don't understand, bro. Like, it's in the rules. Look, Section A, all right, that I own a part of your house. Like, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But I'm tax-free. I'm not going to pay the property taxes. Sorry, Santeo, it says it right here. Like, that's what the rules say. Who the fuck wrote those rules? I did, but still. It was my rules. I just made them up. You could have petitioned to keep it all, but you didn't petition it. I mean, you could have given me, the $500 to petition it. Well, where do you get that from? It's in the rules, Santeo. Like, read it. It's right here. Read the rule. Right? That's what this dude be doing, bro.
Sanction fees when the promoter or the manager or the fighter proves that it is less. Since we had zero communication from their side, you
see what I mean? Like, do you guys get what I'm saying? Do you guys understand? He talks about his rules that they made, right? As if they're like a law passed by Congress or some shit, right? It's what he's doing. Like, this is crazy. They're your rules, bro. And in every single one of those rules, it says at the WBC's discretion on top of all that. So when he says we did everything we could to avoid the situation, no, you didn't. Logically, you didn't.
Initiated that, and we put 120,000 fee on a, they've been saying he made 7 or 10 million or whatever. We had zero response. The only response.
You see how he feels entitled to know what Shakur Stevenson made so he could charge him a percentage for this fight? And he's like, hey, I'm just going by that. We gave him every opportunity to show us the real numbers. Like Shakur needs to prove to Mauricio Sulaiman what he made or didn't make. Who the fuck is Mauricio Sulaiman? Do you not see what's wrong with these sanctioning bodies? Do you not see what's wrong with this here? Is this a protection of the Ali Act? Is this what this is? Like, what are we doing?
Response was,
and by the way, this is the same dude that was just saying, yeah, Zuffa, they don't pay, they're telling fighters they won't pay sanctioning fees because they keep all the money. It's ridiculous, he said. He thinks he's entitled to a piece of it. He thinks he's watching these fighters fight on Zuffa, and in his mind, oh, we're supposed to be getting a piece of that. Every single one of them motherfuckers, we should be getting 3%, 1%, 2%. Like, we're supposed to be collecting sanction fees from all these dudes. In his mind, that's how he thinks. And why does he think this way? Because this has been enabled behavior for years now.
Receive it. We will address this later today.
Well, let me say this. He whatever the money was that he made, it's his money. He can do whatever he wants with it.
Thank you.
Why do you believe? And look, this is in your rules. I'll give you that. I've read the rule that you're entitled to 50% if a fighter is fighting for a different sanctioning body, different weight class. I've read it's in your rules. I'll agree with you there.
We know there are, and I'm glad he said in your rules. I'm glad Mannix said that. They're literally Mauricio's made up rules, bro. This is what I need everybody to understand. These are his rules.
Or 3% if it's a special event.
Right. It also says market share.
Like you see, like, oh, yeah, he knows all the rules because they're his. Like, oh, yeah, 3% if it's a special event. What makes a special event? Well, they get to decide that, right? So if they deem something as a special event and they make a special bout, you got to give them 3%. It's a WBC sanctioned fight. And even if you say, no, it's not. No, it is because in our rules, it says it is. Well, who wrote the rules? Well, I did. But you know. You guys not see how fucked up this whole shit is?
Share too. Like the market value is what I'm keying on here. The market value. Like, why do you really believe that the WBC should be entitled to $120,000?
By the way, fair use, but I really hope Mannix doesn't like copyright the shit out of me here. I'm just providing commentary, but you know, by the way, Mannix is cooking right. Like I'm just saying, I kind of feel bad for even interrupting because he's cooking. You know what I mean? I want to be like that. Have you guys seen that movie? Like, whoa, let him cook. But watch Mauricio Sulaiman's expressions, right? And notice when he's asked an uncomfortable question, he has like this knee jerk, like kind of, he has to like adjust his suit, and he does this like smug face. He can't hide it, right? Like he doesn't like it. All right, just notice that. Well, Mannix cooks.
That your market value for that particular fight, which was for a WBA title, a Ring Magazine title, do you really believe that the WBC's belt?
WBO, Chris.
WBO, apologies. But do you really believe that the WBC's involvement, however nominal, is worth $120,000?
It's worth $1 million.
Oh my God.
Or $1. It is not about the money.
It's a big difference.
So it's not about the money, then just charge him the fucking dollar, Mauricio. If it's not about that, right? Back to my analogy. So I'm going to go to Santeo's house, right? I'm going to write my own rules, right? Diesel's going to write his own bullshit rules, right? I'm going to come up with some rules of my own, right? And I'm just going to show up to Santeo's house. Like, hey, Santeo, I got some paperwork. I own 10% of your house. Like, what? Like, what? I was about to say, what's up? This how you doing? Man, you're saying you own part of my house? What do you mean? Like, get the fuck out. Not, it's in the rules. It's right here. Right? Like who wrote I did. Right? And then it's like, what is it? Is this about money, bro? Are you broke or what's going on? Like, this is not about the money, Santeo. All right? I don't care if I get $10,000 or $5. It's not about the money. Right? It's not what it's about. It's about the value of your property. And it says on Rule 786, Section 8, that the value of thy property shall 3% go to thy D-style. Right? That's what it says in the rules, Santel. I'm just going by the rules. That's it. I've been emailing you. You're responding to my emails. And also, if it's not worth that, you could show me what it's worth. Like, just show me what's up, Santel. Like, what's up? I'm trying to work with you. All right? What do you mean? Like, it's not about the money. It's not what it's about. All right? It's not about the money, Santel. It's just that I am entitled to 3% of the worth of your property. All right? So hand it over. Right? That's what it says on the rules. It's in the rules. Like I showed it to you. Right? By the way, it also says in the rules that you could petition, right, to negotiate a different amount, right? You can do that. But I already went to the board of directors. The D-Styles board of directors we already spoke to them, right? We had a whole meeting about it, right? We went to Hawaii with some of the 3% of your market value from your property. So we took a nice little trip there. But we went to Hawaii. We voted on the shit, right? Go take it with the board of governors, man. I'm just following the rules. So what's up? Are you going to fork up the money? Well, it has nothing to do with the money. Just give it to me, right? It's got nothing to do with the money. Like, are you shit? Like, nobody believes that, bro. Nobody. So because you feel, so if another Joe Schmo champion moves up, but he's only going to make 2,000 in the weight class of right? Did I get cut off? I think I got cut off, right? He said zero communication from me, so, and he showed up with a fake deed. It's not fake, because it says on Section 89, Sotelo, right, that I am entitled to 3%. That's what it says, right? And that's what this dude sounds like, bro. Like, it's just insane. It's crazy.
What's about the money to him? It's about the money to Shakur.
Well, he chose not to continue as WBC champion.
You see the adjustment? Tell me you didn't see it.
And Shakur.
Well, he chose not to continue as WBC champion.
He's squirming on his seat, and then he's saying Shakur chose not to. No, he didn't. He didn't want to pay you $130,000. He didn't want to pay you ransom. That's what he didn't want to do. So it is about the money. That's what it's about. And and anyone who comes in defense Mauricio, right? Guys, he's saying it's not about the money. So I don't want to hear, it's his business. Oh, it says in the rules to pay. Like, you're making arguments he's not making. He can't have it both ways. If he feels it's just say it. But don't say some dumb shit like it's not about the money. All right? What are we doing?
And it was his decision. It is not about the money.
You see? Well, it's his fault. He don't want to pay. It says in the rules. It's his decision. Not me. I didn't make a decision at all. I'm Mauricio Sulaiman. It has nothing to do with the money. It was not all decisions were just Shakur's. I'm just following the rules. The rules that I wrote that also say at the WBC's discretion.
Because it's the rule. Of course, a fighter who is recognized by the WBC as a world champion has a market value, has a validity, has a seal of
Mauricio Sulaiman, I hate to break it to you. Shakur Stevenson making the money that he made against Teofimo Lopez, you had nothing to do with that, brother. Nothing. Turkey paid him that money. You have nothing to do with it. That's the cold hard truth that you're gonna have to face, proven by the fact that he didn't pay your stupid ass sanctioning fee. So now you got nothing. And more fighters they're waking up. And the more people say they should be reading the rules, they should know the rules, right? The more and more people are reading the rules, the more they're seeing how inconsistent they are. And by the way, now that people know this rule, right, just watch this space. Watch how guys are going to move, and Mauricio's not going to treat them this way. All right?
Having a position in the boxing world at that time.
But you put a dollar figure on it. You said $120,000. You put an actual dollar figure on it. And so someone that watched that fight and fans of that fight, it's hard for me to wrap my head around $120,000 worth of value. Maybe there's some value, but $120,000 is a massive amount of money.
That is not a market value. That is a percentage based on a speculation of what he was making.
There's Mauricio Sulaiman again, talking about Shakur's money and trying to make it sound like it's totally normal. It's like he doesn't get it. I'm starting to think that Mauricio Sulaiman, yes, I think he's a snake oil salesman and all that, but I'm starting to believe, honestly, like he just thinks like he's entitled to it. Not just because it's in the rules and all that. He believes, and he revealed it in the Ariel Helwani interview when he said, his own words, Zuffa is not going to charge sanctioning fees because they keep all the money. It's ridiculous. Right? That's not his money. The Zuffa deal, what they broke with Paramount, has nothing to do with the WBC. Nothing to do with them. But he thinks it's ridiculous that fighters won't pay sanctioning fees because they keep all the money because he wants a part of it. He wants some of it. He feels he's entitled to it.
Taking on the money. If he had come back and said, my purse is X amount, we would modify it as we have done in many.
You've already said that, you dumb piece of shit. You already said that.
Cases.
So he's kind of being penalized for making a lot of money.
No. He's being requested to comply with the rules, Chris.
I get the rules, but like, should not, are these?
What are the rules?
Well, but should the, like, look.
You see how he just did a suit every time he gets pissed off? See that? He always does that every single time in their films. That's what he does.
He had come back and said, my purse is X amount, we would modify it as we have done in many.
Look at the move.
Many cases.
So he's kind of being penalized for making a lot of money.
No.
Watch him squirm.
No. He's being requested to comply with the rules, Chris.
I get the rules, but like, should not, are these?
What are the rules?
Well,
you see how he just did a suit? See that?
But should the, like, look, you bend your rules all the time. We can get to that. You bend your rules all the time. You
Tell
do.
me where we went.
Yeah, you bend the rules, Mauricio. And then he does the whole like, well, tell me when, right? And then he's gonna admit he bended the rules.
The rules.
I don't know. You let Jamal Charlo have his belt for over 2 years. That
2
feels
years,
like not
yeah.
ordering a mandatory.
Look,
You didn't.
is-
You let
it
Canelo
is-
Alvarez was a champion at 168 for a long time. You didn't force David Benavidez fight. You didn't like. You bend your rules a lot, Mauricio. If we're being honest here, you bend your rules a lot.
You are being judgmental. Why don't you open?
First of all, you're being judgmental. You slimy mother. I can't stand this dude. I'm sorry. I can't stand Mauricio Sulaiman, bro. I can't stand the dude. All right?
And listen to the rules and listen to my explanation.
Listen to the rules and listen to my explanation. Now keep in mind, by his own rules, Jamal Charlo should not have been champion. But get a load of this.
Okay.
Why do you go and accuse and just get to a...
Nobody's accusing of anything. That's what you did. It's not an accusation if it's true, Mauricio. You bent the rules for Jamal Charlo. That's what you did. That's not an accusation. It's the truth. You're trying to use negative words like accusation. You slimy mother... I know you're watching, right?
A conclusion. That is not correct.
The conclusion is that Jamal Charlo... All Mannix said was that you bent the rules for Jamal Charlo. He did not defend the belt for over 2 years, right? You would not strip the dude. The dude told you to strip him from the fucking belt. He didn't give a fuck about you, bro. All right? You stripped him. Oh, I'll get to why he stripped him a little bit, but let's listen to this.
We can go case by case, but the fact that you never enforced a mandatory on Jamal Charlo for years.
Please,
that's a fact.
Please let me talk. I think I deserve the courtesy.
You've been talking, motherfucker. Like this was acting like Mannix hasn't let him talk, bro. Mannix Sulaiman is used to control. It's a control freak, right? He wants to assert control of a situation. That's what he wants to do. He wants to control the narrative. But even then, the explanation is pathetic.
If I'm in your program, to be able to talk. Jermel
Shut the fuck up and just answer the question, bro.
Charlo. Jermel.
Man, I'm telling you right now, Mannix Sulaiman wouldn't allow, like, he'd hang up on me in 3 minutes, wouldn't he? If he gone, bro. That's why I'm saying Mannix did a good job, because if I was interviewing Mannix would have fucking left the fucking Zoom call. Like, you know what I mean? He'd be gone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he would, like, log out. In fact, I think I could get Mannix Sulaiman to cuss me out, bro. I really do. I think I could get him to cuss me out before he left. Right? Like, so shout out to Mannix.
I'm sorry. Jermel was scheduled to fight, and he got injured. He was going to make his title defense. He got injured, so the fight was postponed. Then he became in a very difficult mental health problem. So he got completely out of...
Get a load of this. I mean, I don't know which one of you guys have been... just keep in mind.
He was completely disturbed in his person. The WBC ordered an interim championship with Adames in order to have the division active. I met with Jermel Charlo several times, and I promised him. He told me that the only thing in life keeping him from making a stupid decision like killing himself was because he was a WBC champion.
The reason he didn't strip Jamal Charlo is because he didn't want Jamal Charlo to kill himself. Because Jamal Charlo told him that the only thing keeping him alive is the fact that he is the reigning, apparently not defending, WBC middleweight champion. That's the only thing that was keeping Jamal Charlo aside. And that is why you didn't strip him. Or make him champion in recess or something like that. Or use some of that Jose Sulaiman fund money to get him some professional help. You know, I know, like, I used to work in a line of, like, a job that I had, okay? Where, you know, it required, to some degree, counseling, right? For some people. They couldn't handle it. And one thing, and I would love to, like, have, like, a psychiatrist break this down, the logic behind this, because this is not how you treat somebody that is threatening to kill themselves, right? Like, if Jamal literally told this dude, man, I'm gonna kill myself, and the only thing that's keeping me alive is that I get to keep this belt and call myself world champion, and I'm the WBC champion. It's the one thing keeping me alive, right? If Jamal really told you that, you're not supposed to, like, give the suicidal person, right, their ransom. Like, you're not supposed to do that. That's not helpful. And I'll prove that it wasn't helpful. It clearly was not good for the health of Jamal Charlo if you in fact thought that the cure to his suicidal tendencies was your WBC belt. Your WBC belt does not have special powers like that. All right? Now, did Jamal say something like this to Mauricio? I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he said something in that vein, but Mauricio Sulaiman took it a certain way. Maybe. But that's not my prerogative. You think Jamal Charlo should have been able to keep his belt indefinitely, and you thought by not stripping him, because that's the one thing keeping him from killing himself, like you thought you were helping him? I take topics like suicide, mental illness very serious. I have a friend that killed themselves. Many of you out there watching know people that unfortunately took their life. All right? It's a very serious topic. I take it very serious. But what I do know is this, all right? What he should have done is taken that as a clear warning, right? Like, if the only thing keeping him alive is that he has his belt, yeah, that's not a good dude in a really good state, right? Perhaps, all right? And the reality is, you know, well, by the way, Austria, I have it under good authority that Mauricio watch my shit. Okay, so it is what it is, brother. You don't got to like it. I'm just letting you know. Right? But the thing is this, right? Very sensitive topic. And look, let's play a little more and I'll give more thoughts. But it kind of worked on Mannix a little bit.
And I met him and his wife. And I promised him to have the full WBC support until he got his mental situation better. And if you're going to blame that for me and say that I break the rules, I take it. I took.
So you broke the rules. So it was not an accusation, Mauricio. What do you mean?
The fighter's life, and I took the fighter's sentiment and did not affect anyone in doing so. You want to talk about Canelo Alvarez? Benavides, same thing. Canelo was a champion. Benavides.
We'll get to that situation a little bit. Look, everybody knows that Mauricio could have ordered that fight years ago and he didn't. Who are we kidding? Right? Who are we kidding? But back to the Jamal thing. So all the fighter has to tell Mauricio is that, hey man, if you strip me, this belt means a lot to me. If you strip me, I'm gonna become suicidal and kill myself. Plus, I mean, you could have made him champion in recess. Hey champ, we need you to get better. You know, we're not gonna strip you of your championship. We're gonna make you champion in recess. But as soon as you're ready to come back, you're going to get a title shot right away. Right? You'll be the first one in line. Right? We'll do a champion versus champion match. Boom, done. He could have just done that. He didn't do that. He wanted to virtual signal and be the savior of Jamal. But how did that work out, by the way? Why weren't you worried about the mental state and the fact that Jamal could have killed himself? Why did you strip him after the DWI incident? Where he had a hit, like where he left the scene of an accident, right? I would think that's when he needed you the most, Mauricio, but that's when you stripped him. So you want to shame everybody about, hey, why didn't you strip this dude, right? But you did end up stripping him, despite all that you're saying about, oh, he met with his wife, and I promised him we'll give him support, we'll never strip him because your life matters to me. Well, you didn't give a shit about his life when you stripped him then? Obviously, someone's talking about him crashing out. He literally crashed. He had a DWI. He was at his lowest. Left the scene of an accident. And you stripped him. You weren't worried about him killing himself then? You didn't give a shit about that either then anyway. That's the reality of it, man. So. You know, actually, I think these are like the best parts, by the way. I don't think I got to go through more, actually, to be honest with you. I think I'm good with that. And, but a couple more things I want to touch on, but.
Accepted to fight an interim championship. And when he fought on March of 23, I think, that was the final elimination for the mandatory position that would take place 1 year later. Before that year later, that week.
You see this? When he won this thing, once you become the mandatory, you would fight a year later, right? But Shakur could have fought a couple months ago, but then if he goes to fighting in another division or something, you want to charge him in order to do that. What are we doing? You're making, and he keeps doing the whole, like, it's in the rules, it's in the rules. It's in the rules, Chris. Like, it's your rules, bro. If we're saying the rules are bullshit, you can't come and say, hey, well, those are the rules. Like, explain to us why. You notice how he never says why these are good rules. He never does that.
Where to enforce the fight, he moved up to light heavyweight. I can give you all the timeline of each case that you would like to discuss if you give me the opportunity, and don't judge me without knowing the
Don't judge me. Like what a fucking little pussy, bro.
facts.
I'm not, well, you just said, and if I'm hearing you correctly, that you thought Jermall Charlo might commit suicide if he had his belt taken from. Okay, I mean, that's serious stuff. I know he was dealing with some stuff. That's certainly some serious stuff. So,
it's very clear. He was public. He had huge.
But he stripped them anyway. After he had the DWI and left the scene of a crash, he stripped them. I mean, he should have done that though. You see how he didn't kill himself, right? Like you can't. It's like the dude to tell the girl, "Hey man, if you leave me, I'm gonna kill myself." Like that girl, like the worst thing you could do is stay with him. All right? Like you wanted to break up with him, you can't stay with him because he's saying he's gonna kill himself, right? That's not on you. That's on him. That's his. Like you know what I mean? You can't. Like what are we doing? You can't allow a boxer to guilt trip you to not strip him. I think mental illness is a very serious thing. I know he was going through a lot of drama. You could have made him champion in recess, bro. No, I think this was a legit interview. I thought Mannix did a good job.
Huge problems in his personal life.
Yes, I covered it.
Him. We opted to support him.
I'll repeat. If I was interviewing Sulaiman, I swear to God, he would cuss me out and be gone in like 2 minutes. He would be gone. So the fact that he was able to look at Mauricio's face. I did not do it on purpose. Look at him. Man. What's in that face?
If you're going to crucify us for that, so be it. I'll take it.
But you're not taking it, Mauricio. If you want to put it on me, put it on me. Put it on me. But the whole time you're acting like a victim. So don't just judge me. Don't be negative against me. Like what have we done?
Well, Benavidez had an interim title for a while. There were opportunities for you to order.
Paul Benavidez put him on the line.
Who's gonna call Benavidez and put him on the line, bro? And why? You see how he keeps adjusting the suit every time he's pissed off?
You think he didn't want that shot?
He moved up in weight before we ordered the fight.
So you're saying you were about to order the fight? He moved up in weight because he didn't think he was ever going to get that fight.
That's what you think.
That's what he says. He says it over and over again. He said it publicly. He never thought he'd get the Canelo fight.
He never thought that Canelo would fight him, maybe.
Yeah, but should you have not ordered that? Like said,
because it was not time. And
it wasn't time. The last WBC mandatory was fucking Yildirim, bro. Anvil, like the Neidhart, whatever, Yildirim. That was the last time. Dude, that was 2021. You had more than enough time. You're in a rush to collect a sanctioning fee from Stevenson, but it's not about the money, wink. But you're in a rush to do that when the dude's staying active, right? But like what are we doing?
I'll send you all the reports that I explained. When we were supposed to order in March 2024 or 20.
You could always just order it. Bro, this is the part that I really despise about this dude, right? What I despise about Mauricio is that, I mean, just listen to what he just said. We were gonna order. He talks about these conventions like they're like official, like they can't like. Mauricio, you made after Fulton missed weight. After Fulton missed weight, you gave him a title shot right away in the weight class above. You could just do it. Like cut the shit. You had years to do it. I don't want to hear, oh, you moved up before we're going to do it. We're going to have a convention. We're going to have a vote on it. So I have to get the board of governors. We have to get together. We have to have a meeting and go over the intricacies. Everybody knew that Benavidez should have just gotten a shot. You had years to do it. There's no excuse. We were going to order it in March, but Benavidez moved up. And then, like what are we doing?
2024, he moved up in weight, Chris.
Well, this raises the subject, Mauricio, and I was going to get to this. This raised the subject of the interim championship. Now, interim, I'd like to know, what is your criteria for creating an interim championship?
The original criteria is when a fighter is not available to defend his championship for medical, legal, or other circumstances that are proven, you order an interim championship.
Okay, let me just, I'll give you a second. I just wanted to follow up on that. Yeah. You currently, to my reading here, you currently have interim champions at heavyweight, junior middleweight, junior welterweight, and flyweight. These are all divisions with active champions that are out there fighting either in recent months or scheduled to fight in recent months. Why should this be described as anything as a way for the WBC to collect a fee for a fake title?
Okay. You ought to say and to go through the money again. And you have a very big problem with money because it is not about money. The WBC has taken a stance to try the best for the industry, for the promoters.
I want you guys to keep this in mind while he talks, right? We have 3 other major sanctioning bodies. He talks about things like the universe of boxing revolves around only the WBC. That's how he talks. Listen carefully.
And for the fighters. I'm not going to talk about the heavyweight division. We took a stance in order to make our best possible effort to land at an undisputed heavyweight championship fight. That goes back to Wilder. Sorry. We had the Usyk, who was a champion after beating Joshua, and we had Fury as a WBC champion. We took 1 complete year without Fury defending his title, waiting as we proposed that we wanted the undisputed. So he fought, and we sanctioned the undisputed fight, including a rematch.
I'm going to fast forward a little bit, guys.
Now, since his last fight, we're giving him a voluntary defense. He can select the best fight for him and the industry, and then he will fight the interim champion Caballero. So I can give you an explanation of every single interim champion.
Hold on. All right, but then, okay. Adji Caballero just fought in January. Alexander Usyk right now does not have a fight scheduled. Why is Caballero not being ordered to fight Usyk right now?
The ruling at the convention, Usyk requested a voluntary title defense, which was granted.
You see, like, here's what we mean. He'll say things like they petitioned at the convention and the request was granted, right? Mauricio talks about these things like if it's not him making these decisions. like it's him, like what. But he wants to make it sound like it's this governing body, independent of him, that made this decision, and he's just the one saying, "Hey, this is what happened." A very totally legit, committee, granted this request. It was petitioned, right? But that's really like Mauricio's the one that granted this permission. He did it. Like, what are we doing?
And Caballel had the title defense. He can do another fight if he likes, or just wait until Usyk fights, and then we order the mandatory fight.
But that would be almost 2 years after Caballel originally won this title. Usyk is probably not going to fight until the summer of this year. So then Caballel's going to have to wait 2 years to fight for his heavyweight title?
He's very happy fighting for the interim and making a lot
I
of
don't
money
think
for
that's
himself.
true. I don't think that's true. I don't think he's very happy fighting for the
That's what you
interim.
think.
But look, logically, is anybody happy fighting for interim titles?
All of them. Otherwise, they would not fight for the interim.
Because
title.
they think it's a step to the next one. They think they're getting ordered.
Look, Mannix is right about that. They believe that. Look at Mauricio's face, bro. Look at this dude. Right? Look at him. Mauricio Sulaiman. Again. Oh, man.
To fight for a full title.
Why does it have to be on your times?
I'm giving you a whole.
You see how defensive he gets? Bro, it's a legitimate thing. Like, well, how are you going to have an interim champion for 2 years, bro? Like, what the fuck is that? But he's justifying by saying, no. This went through a whole, the convention. There was a petition. It was the board of governors. They voted on it. They like, he makes it sound, again, like it's this entity apart from him.
Whole lot of time, like a year, 2 years.
No, he fought, he defended, he just defended and became a hero in a
Great
in
event.
Germany.
Great event. Loved it. Huge event.
He had not been he had his home welcome in Germany. Now he can fight in a stadium. It's good for him, good for German boxer, good for the division. So you're
But
getting
he's fighting. If you ask Caballel, and I think they asked him after the fight who he wanted next, he wants to fight Usyk next. Usyk already had another fight. He had the Danny Dubois fight in 2025. He had one fight that year that was not a WBC ordered fight. Why does he get another one? Why does he get another voluntary when he has no opponents?
He just fought Fury Dubois.
That was 2 years ago.
Fury Dubois. If you were consistent with our side of making money and sanction fees, we would be ordering all these fights all the time. We are with the promoters, with the industry, with the networks, with the fighters. We work with them on times. I mean, you can see there are fighters that fight once or twice a year, and that's it.
Yes, but shouldn't
shouldn't
your job?
Yeah, you're such a noble dude, Mauricio. You're so noble. I don't know if you guys caught that. Like, he's basically saying, no. Look, if it was about the money, we would have been ordering Usyk to fight Caballel now, which makes no fucking sense. That's not true. You're double dipping. You're getting a sanctioning fee from Caballel, right? In a big event in Germany, like you just said, right? And then you're getting money from Usyk, who gets paid by Turki Al-Sheikh and Riyadh, or has been anyway. You're double dipping. Well, what are you talking about? If you were consistent, we'd be ordering this, and like, what are you talking about, bro?
Times a year.
Shouldn't your job be just to objectively keep the title in play? Like, if a guy like Usyk wants to take a year off, shouldn't he be named your champion in recess?
Just to tell the things, investigate the facts, and then you trash me horribly without even me asking.
No, Mannix ain't trashing you, but I'm trashing you. Mannix hasn't been trashing you. What or not? Right? Are you kidding me?
Without asking me anything about what we're talking. I don't tell you how to do your job. My job.
His job is to be a fucking reporter, bro. They're supposed to ask you tough questions. He's not your PR guy.
Is to be the president of the WBC, which involves many, many, many things that you cannot imagine, which involves our social responsibility actions. The WBC
That's a fleck now.
cares, the Jose Sulaiman Fund, and you can roll your eyes like saying,
I'm not rolling my eyes. This is not the subject, Mauricio. I understand you do a lot of good things for fighters.
You come back with any subject that you want to be. I can.
You see how defensive he is? How he's doing the suit thing. You catching on to that, right?
Say whatever I want to say as well.
I know you can. What I'm pointing out, look, Caballel, I don't understand why he's not being ordered right now to fight for that title. But let me ask you this:
Okay.
you're
Because the champion Usyk, December 3rd, Caballel was not available because he had a fight scheduled in January, and he requested a voluntary title defense, which is very customary.
Because like Caballel wouldn't make himself available if you got that title shot, right?
He was given that opportunity, and he must fight the interim champion next. That's a ruling.
Usyk must fight the interim champion next, after his next fight.
After his voluntary defense, yes.
Okay, let me ask you about the ranking system. Do you believe that boxing rankings should be?
All right, I don't want to. That's enough. Hey, Mauricio Solis, man, bro. That's your dude, Jesus. Like, I heard that's your dude. That's your favorite sanctioned body president. But if you guys just came in, go to the beginning. Check out the look. All the window dressing bull. It's not gonna work on me, bro. It just doesn't work on me, right? But the problem is, the reason he's getting pissed off here and with the suit and getting defensive, and because for years, Mauricio Sulaiman's been used to people kissing his ass. That's why, right? He's not used to pushback. See how defensive he got? Like if you let me talk, and like he's been letting you talk. Like, what do you mean? Like acting all defensive when like Mannix wasn't defensive with him at all. He just gave him a little bit of pushback. Mannix is asking him the right questions. Those sort, I think I'm not going to call them tough questions or nothing. They were the right questions. They were good questions, and it got the answers that he did his job, and I commend him. I think. If I'm honest, I think Mannix did a really good job in this interview. And I think it was very, like, how pathetic that does Mauricio Sulaiman look, acting like he's the victim here. And like if Mannix is being rude to him, like Mannix is treating him the way I would treat him. Like no, he wasn't, bro. He was being cordial. He was asking you the questions. He gave you some pushback. Wow. Poor Mauricio. Like, I get to talk too. Like, who said you couldn't talk? We want you to talk. Keep talking. Keep talking, Mauricio. I mean, all that petition, board of governors, requests. We had a meeting at the conference. All that done. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit, bro. Oh, but in the rules it says like again, it's his rules. He made them up. And he makes exceptions all the time. All the time he looks the other way if it's convenient. All the time. And he's like, I have an explanation for that. Then his explanations suck. He tells us what we already know. Like it's like stupid, bro. Why you accuse me of bending the rules for Jamal Charlo? I bent the rules because he was going to kill himself. Well, I thought you didn't bend the rules, bro. You're using words like accuse when that's what you did. Crooked motherfuckers, bro. The board, like, bro, like these board of governors, it's people it's his people. It's his loyalists. They're going to do, like, you've never, ever heard of a headline that says the board of governors overrules Mauricio Sulaiman. The board of governors overruled Mauricio and stated that they will not be stripping Shakur Stevenson or not allow him to vacate. What have we done? But anyway, that's all I got is D-Style. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hit the like before you go, and I'm out of here. Peace.